According to Forbes, Hov is officially the first hip-hop artist to become a billionaire, and it's all thanks to his many business endeavors.
I love you, Beyoncé!
To present my daughter Beyoncé with a Billboard Millennium Award.
Jay-Z grew up in the tough streets of Brooklyn, New York. Life wasn't easy for him. He didn't have much money, and the streets were full of danger. But Jay-Z had something special. He was smart, quick, and super focused.
My brother was dealing with a lot of demons. He was doing a lot of drugs. He was taking stuff from the family, and I was the youngest, but I felt like I needed to protect everybody else.
He used his talent in music to escape the streets and build something incredible. At first, no record label believed in him. So what did he do? He started his own. He built a music empire called Rockefeller Records. That's when the world started noticing him. He didn't just want to be a rapper, he wanted to be a businessman, and he did it. He grew bigger and richer fast.
Years after Jay-Z got famous, his cousin later said every morning he would wake up and be in the mirror rhyming to himself to hear himself and check his flow. You know how some people get up and do calisthenics every morning? It was like that.
Now let's talk about Beyoncé. She started out as a little girl with a big dream in Houston, Texas. She practiced singing and dancing every day. Her father believed in her so much that he helped form a girl group called Destiny's Child. And wow, they became superstars. But Beyoncé didn't stop there. She worked harder than anyone else in the music business.
When you're famous, no one looks at you as a human anymore. You become the property of the public. There's nothing real about it. I feel like I'm having to tap into a lot of my life experiences to pull inspiration. And I feel like I'm opening up a lot in these videos and showing a lot of sides to me that only a few people have ever seen.
When Destiny's Child ended, she became a solo artist, and that's when things really exploded. Beyoncé's music, performances, and voice made her a global icon. People all over the world loved her.
Seriously, red toilet paper? You know she's lying. She was never pregnant with that baby.
But like Jay-Z, she didn't stop at just music. She started businesses, fashion lines, and made deals that made her more and more powerful. Now imagine what happens when two people like this, smart, rich, and strong, get married. That's Jay-Z and Beyoncé. When they teamed up, they became unstoppable. But here's the part that scares Hollywood. Jay-Z and Beyoncé don't play by the usual rules. Most celebrities rely on big studios, big labels, or famous producers, but not them. They make their own rules. They build their own companies. They own their own music. They fund their own projects. They don't need anyone else to succeed. That's scary to Hollywood because it means Jay-Z and Beyoncé can't be controlled. And when powerful people can't be controlled, they become a threat to those who run the system. Now, let's go a little deeper. In Hollywood, there are big names.
The entire history and dynamics of Jay-Z and Beyoncé's marriage could be a 2-hour documentary on its own. But all in all, it's yet another thing he's done in his career that points.
And then there are people who control everything behind the scenes. The ones who make the rules, choose who gets famous, and decide which shows, movies, or music go viral. These are usually old, rich, and powerful people sitting in big offices. But Jay-Z and Beyoncé, they don't wait for those people's approval.
He first started rapping, he was the first person to start rapping with the fast lyrics and putting all these words together, and you could still understand him. I know his songs were always very street in the hood, always appreciated, and he could cross over and still people all over the world could appreciate.
They made their own way in and then started building their own empire from the inside. Jay-Z owns part of music streaming services like Tidal and even sports agencies like Roc Nation Sports. That means he doesn't just sign musicians, he signs athletes too. Some of the world's top football and basketball players work with him. That's not just fame, that's influence. He can move millions of dollars, sign billion-dollar deals, and bring stars under his brand. Beyoncé is just as powerful. She dropped her self-titled album album Beyoncé in 2013 without telling anyone, not even her label. No promotion, no ads, no warning. It just appeared on iTunes one night. People went crazy. It broke the internet. That was the moment everyone realized Beyoncé doesn't need anyone's help to win. Then came Lemonade, a full visual album with powerful songs, bold messages, and deep emotion.
Up after midnight, I smell your secrets, and I'm not too perfect to ever feel this worthless. How did it come?
And Lemonade might just be her most powerful proclamation yet. An hour-long visual album divided into several chapters. Beginning with learning of her husband's betrayal, each chapter brings Beyoncé closer to finding the strength to forgive and rebuild what has been broken.
She talked about real pain, love, betrayal, and being a black woman in America. It wasn't just music, it was art. And guess what? She didn't ask permission from anyone in Hollywood to tell her story. She told it her way on her platform and still made millions. You see, that's why people are afraid of them. Jay-Z and Beyoncé are not just entertainers, they're leaders. They inspire millions. They speak up about race, injustice, power, and freedom. And when they speak, people listen. That's dangerous to the people who like to keep things the same. Now let's talk about their privacy. Have you noticed something about Jay-Z and Beyoncé? They don't talk much. You won't see them doing lots of interviews or spilling drama on talk shows. They're super quiet. That's not because they're shy. It's because they're smart. They know that mystery makes them even more powerful. People always wonder what they're thinking, what they're planning, what's next. And when they do speak, it's big. A concert, a documentary, a surprise album, a powerful photo on social media. Every move is planned. Every word has weight. They control their own story. In Hollywood, where gossip and control are everywhere, that makes Jay-Z and Beyoncé different, unpredictable, untouchable, and that scares a lot of people. Jay-Z and Beyoncé are not just powerful on their own. They have powerful friends too. Presidents, billionaires, royal families, you name it. They've been invited to the White House. They've had private dinners with Barack and Michelle Obama. They've been seen at secret parties with people who run giant companies like Apple and Amazon. Now imagine this. You're a Hollywood director or producer. You want to release a big project, but Jay-Z and Beyoncé are friends with the people who own the companies behind your project. If you ever say something bad about them or go against them, it could ruin your entire career. That's the kind of quiet power they have. They don't have to threaten anyone. People just know, don't mess with them. But it's not just about fame and friendship. Some say Jay-Z and Beyoncé are involved in things even deeper than Hollywood. Over the years, people have noticed strange symbols in their videos, their outfits, even in their stage designs. Some fans believe they're part of secret groups like the Illuminati, a mysterious organization that's said to control everything in entertainment and politics. Now, nobody really knows if that's true. Jay-Z and Beyoncé have joked about it in songs and interviews, but whether it's real or not, one thing is clear. People believe they have connections and knowledge that others don't, and that adds even more mystery and fear. Even their concerts feel different. When Beyoncé performs, it's not just singing and dancing. It's like a powerful message being delivered to the world. The way she moves, the way the stage is designed, even the lighting, everything feels like it means something deeper. People don't just watch Beyoncé perform. They feel her energy. Jay-Z is the same way. He raps about real power, business, and staying rich and smart while others fall apart. He talks about the game, how the world really works behind the scenes. Some say his music is like a blueprint for success and survival in a system built to hold people down. And Hollywood knows this. That's why they're afraid, because Jay-Z and Beyoncé are more than just rich. They're aware. They're strategic. They don't act wild, and they don't make dumb moves. Every step they take is smart and planned. And people in power, they don't like when someone else plays the game better than them. Even when there's drama, like the time Beyoncé's sister, Solange, was caught on camera fighting Jay-Z in an elevator. Do you remember what they did? Nothing. No long interviews. No big explanations. Just silence.
All appears calm and normal until Solange Knowles, Beyoncé's sister, lunges at her brother-in-law. The video shows Solange, a vocal star and fashionista in her own right, punching, hitting, kicking and clawing at the famed rapper before eventually being pulled off by a bodyguard. The entertainment world was abuzz with questions such as, why did Beyoncé not react at all to the incident? And of course, why did Solange attack Jay-Z in the first place? Was it because of money? Was Jay-Z caught cheating? Did he say something insulting to his sister-in-law? Or was it simply a case of too much alcohol and too many flashing lights?
A few days later, Beyoncé posted a happy photo. That's it. They controlled the story. They didn't let the media spin it, and just like that, the story disappeared. That's real control. That's why the fear is real. One of the biggest reasons people in Hollywood fear Jay-Z and Beyoncé is because they're always one step ahead, especially when it comes to business. They don't just make money, they create systems that make money for them while they sleep. Let's look at Jay-Z again. He's not just a rapper, he's a full-blown businessman. He once said, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman." And he meant it. He's owned clothing lines, invested in champagne companies, art, real estate, and even started his own streaming service, Tidal. And get this, he sold some of those companies for hundreds of millions of dollars. He knows how to build, grow, and sell at the perfect time.
I didn't even tell people to stop using the money.
Listen.
I said it ain't money to us. It ain't. That's just an honest statement. Money to us is me and my 3 friends on the floor at Golden State, or building brands and pushing it forward. And that can't be the end all. That can't be our goal to get money.
Beyoncé is just as smart. When big companies wanted her to model or promote their clothes, she said no. Why? Because she wanted to own her brand. So she made Ivy Park, a clothing brand she co-owns. And instead of begging stores to carry her products, she partnered with Adidas, one of the biggest names in sports fashion. That's not luck. That's a boss move.
When she was finding her voice, she didn't see limits. She saw possibilities. To be more than a singer, more than an icon. She saw that she could be an inspiration so that we could see possibilities too. Sweet love.
And remember when Beyoncé performed at Coachella? That wasn't just a concert. It was a moment in history. But here's what most people don't know. She made a secret deal. Instead of just taking a big paycheck for the performance, she made sure she owned the rights to the video.
You headlined Coachella. You were the first female rapper to ever headline Coachella. A little history. Just making a little history. No big deal. But I want to talk about, because if we're going to talk about hair, I want to talk about that performance. You did this unbelievable performance with you and your dancers were amazing.
Then she sold that video to Netflix for a huge amount. So while other artists just get paid once, Beyoncé made money again and again. This is what makes Hollywood nervous. Jay-Z and Beyoncé are changing the rules. They don't just work for big studios or labels. They compete with them. They keep ownership of their work. They keep their creative control. And that means nobody can tell them what to do. Even when they give interviews or release documentaries, they're doing it on their own terms. They don't go to traditional news shows. They drop their content on platforms like HBO, Netflix, or even their own channels. They're not trying to be on every TV screen. They choose their moments carefully, and those moments, they always hit hard. That kind of control is rare in the entertainment world. Usually celebrities are told what to do, what to say, and who to work with. But Jay-Z and Beyoncé flipped the script. Now, they're the ones calling the shots, and the rest of the industry is just trying to keep up. People in Hollywood are used to being in charge. But when Jay-Z and Beyoncé walk into the room, everything changes. They don't follow, they lead, and no one wants to be on the wrong side of that kind of power. Now let's talk about something even bigger than fame or money, legacy. Jay-Z and Beyoncé aren't just thinking about today. They're thinking about their future, their kids, and how they'll be remembered long after they're gone. That's real power. While other stars are trying to go viral or trend for a week, Jay-Z and Beyoncé are building something that will last forever. They're teaching the next generation how to build wealth, how to keep control, and how to move with quiet strength. And they're doing it as a couple. That's what makes them even more special. Most famous couples break up fast, but these two, they've had ups and downs, sure, but they've stayed together, grown together, and become even stronger. That scares Hollywood too, because Hollywood likes chaos. It likes drama, but Jay-Z and Beyoncé don't give them that. Instead, they give them class, power, unity, and a message that says, We don't need you. We're already great on our own. They've also shown loyalty to their culture.
I don't want to put you on the spot because I know they're probably putting the camera in your face right now, but I love me some Jay-Z.
Their roots and their people. Beyoncé uses her voice to lift up Black stories, Black voices, and Black beauty. From her music videos to her Super Bowl performance, she sends powerful messages without even saying a word. Jay-Z invests in projects that help young Black artists, prison reform, and communities that are often ignored. They don't just talk about change, they make it happen. That's why some people in Hollywood are scared, because they know Jay-Z and Beyoncé aren't here to play the game. They're here to change it, and they already are. From music and movies to fashion, business, and activism, they're showing the world that you can be rich, famous, smart, and still stay true to who you are. They're proof that success doesn't have to mean selling out. And guess what? They're just getting started. So the next time you see Jay-Z and Beyoncé walk down a red carpet, drop a surprise album, or sit quietly at the front row of an event, remember this. They're not just being cool, they're planning something big, and everyone in the room knows it. That's why people in Hollywood are afraid, not because Jay-Z and Beyoncé are loud, but because their silence speaks louder than most people's words. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, make